this is the best van I've ever seen. You nailed it.
Do you get used to that yet?
No, never.
How's it going, guys? Matt here at the Overland Expo East in Arrinton, Virginia. I've been to all three. I went to the Colorado Loveland and then Flagstaff, and now I'm here doing them all over the place. This is the only one you're doing, right?
This is the first and probably last for the season, actually.
Yeah, it's like all the time he has is to come out here, and it's barely enough time because he is really busy building vans. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hey, I'm Michael. I'm actually the founder of Outerly. Basically started this about 2 years ago, and basically been slammed ever since, and got more work than I can handle.
You know, a lot of these van life stories they're very organic.
Yeah.
They're like, we did it because we wanted to kind of get off grid, and then we started getting people saying, hey, make me one of those, and all of a sudden you're building magnificent vans. And that reaction that we just had from the girl coming out of that van, that is not rare.
All day.
That's not rare. That's not rare.
I should have seen the line yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's no line right now, so maybe you can show me around.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
All right, here you go. This is actually a custom rig we did for a customer, and he kind of spared no expense. He honestly told me, what would you want in your van, and put it in there. Yeah, so.
And I'll pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So this van actually has hydronic heated floors.
Okay.
So it's all fuel fired, the heating system. You get instant hot air, instant hot water, and instant hot floors.
Yeah.
And it's all fuel fired from the actual gas tank, and super efficient. You could run it for 24 hours on a gallon of gas.
Is this your first hydronic system that you set up? Or
No, that van actually has the same exact setup in it. So we've actually done a couple of them so far. Yep.
Okay.
It's a super efficient system that merges all of them, and then you could actually use it in 3 different ways. One is by running your engine from place to place when you're driving.
Yeah.
You'll get instant hot air and heated floors. The other option is actually the furnace that's mounted underneath the vehicle, that is from SPARED, actually.
Okay.
And
so you got redundant system after redundant system.
Yeah, exactly. And then the third system is if you're at a campground, you can actually plug into shore power and run the whole system electronically.
Okay.
That way you don't have any exhaust coming out the back of the van, smogging out your neighbors.
Walk me through. So you have the bathroom here, and you have the Nautilus door.
Yeah, let me turn the light on for you. There you go.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a Nautilus door on here, self-cleaning, super easy to use. You never have to clean it. We actually have the toilet by Lavio, the dry flush, which there's actually not a cartridge in it right now, but the cartridge you can actually flush 17 times before it actually vacuum seals into a small bag that you can throw away.
Wow. Okay.
So the easiest cleaning toilet and the least smell, which is awesome. We actually did aluminum tile.
Is that what that is? That's aluminum?
That's aluminum tile.
That's
throughout
badass.
the van, and we actually designed this with his wife, that actually picked out all these colors, wanted the gold features with the blue interior couches and stuff like that. Well, this was actually a passenger van, but we cut out the windows and replaced them with vented windows from AMA.
Okay.
And they actually have 30% ventilation, which is key in a van. You want to be as much ventilation as possible, basically.
But you don't have any ventilation here, which normally you'd have.
Right, so the idea behind this build is basically they did a 12-volt AC unit by pneumatic cooling, which is super efficient. You can run it up to 8 hours on the house batteries in this rig.
Yep.
In front of there is a max air fan, but the idea was to give him a giant roof deck space on top of the van to kind of hang out on or store whatever gear he has.
Can we go up there later?
We can,
Okay,
yes,
cool,
we can,
cool.
for sure.
I see you have a gas here.
So yeah, this is a 3-burner stovetop by Furion, and it's a super efficient system, but we actually run it off of basically, yep, there's a few little camper propane tanks down below that it runs off of. So there's no need to actually mount a giant propane tank underneath. And you can take all the propane out of the vehicle if you need to.
What number vehicle is this like build for you?
I think this one's somewhere around 15.
15.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you've learned, I mean, like for example, I'm saying that. Was that something that you were like,
oh yeah.
That was something that you've kind of learned over time?
Honestly, this was something that we designed for one of our rental vans. We actually had the exact same stovetop in our rental van with the exact same setup with propane underneath, but we've kind of perfected it over time for sure.
Cool.
And this kind of has like a cool little LED switch lighting on it, which is super cool. This guy has 400 amp hours in smart lithium batteries by VICTRON.
Okay.
It's got 3,000 watts inverter charger. And it's got 300 watts of solar on the roof. Cool. Plenty of power inside this van. The van next door, we have a 600 amp hour battery versus the 400.
And this collapses into a bed.
Yes, this actually collapses into a full-size king.
Huge. There's a lot of bed here.
80-inch bed, for sure. But he had the extended van, so he has the room to do it. Yeah. You know, so he just wanted the biggest bed he can go with.
And then this is like your clothing.
She actually
lots of stuff in there. Yeah, he's fitting it out.
There's a ton of stuff that fits in there, pots and pans, whatever you need. But that's what they wanted.
Okay, so here's your control panel, right?
Yeah, for sure. So this is basically your VICTRON monitor, basically showing your battery, your voltage, and basically how many amps you're running, how many watts you're running right now, and how many watts you're getting from solar. It's been pretty cloudy all weekend, and this thing is still at 75%. And we've been running this thing all day, every day for the past 3 days.
What's your background? Like, are you an engineer or electrical engineer, or is it YouTube University the whole way?
Honestly, a lot of people ask me that. I've done everything you can possibly think of, like from roofing to kitchens, bathrooms, greenhouses, you name it, I've done it. Like, I've even actually coded a couple apps. I actually really like working on the electrical on these vans, and I try and make it as minimal as possible to kind of make your lifestyle a little bit better on the interior of these vans.
Cool.
Because some of those companies are making huge batteries, and we try and work with VICTRON because you can condense that electrical bay way smaller than most other companies.
Yeah. VICTRON is good. Yeah. Can we go up top and take a look?
Yeah, let's do it. Getting some sunlight. Look at that.
Well, we can both climb at the same time.
Yeah. On the rooftop, he kind of wanted to condense all of the stuff to the front so you can access all of this for rooftop deck. So what we did is we gave him high bars above his fan from Luminous to mount the 300 watts of solar on the roof, and he's got his pneumatic cooling AC right behind it. This is actually just temporary because we're waiting for his spare tire carrier on the back.
Okay.
But basically this would all be
This is a
rooftop
beautiful
space.
deck area.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you put a secondary alternator in there so that he can charge up quicker?
So no, we actually don't do secondary alternators. What we do is we do a system by Mid-City Engineering, and what that is an auto start with a high idle. And you're able to recharge your house batteries really quickly with that, and use your engine as a generator.
Okay. Now, if you want a van from Outerly, how long are they going to have to wait to get it?
So it depends on what you go with. If you go with a custom rig, it's usually around 3 to 4 months. But if you go with one of our layouts, it's usually a month to 2 months turnaround time.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not
I was
bad
expecting like, what year is it?
Yeah.
That's
well,
cool.
That's if you could find a van.
Oh yeah, right. Find the van first, and then next century he'll build it out for you.
Yeah, but we work with a ton of Mercedes dealerships on the East Coast, and honestly, we get the first phone call that when 4x4s hit the ground.
Cool.
So like literally yesterday I got a phone call, we just got 2 4x4s, and I had a guy standing next to me, he's like, dude, what?
How'd you get that? If you were going to build your own van, would you have wraparound windows or would you not have so many windows?
So honestly, I would probably do minimal windows because more windows is less insulation.
Right.
But we do on the promo van or our van, we have a ton of windows, but we did flares in the back, so you can sleep sideways versus sleeping.
Flarespace Flares? Are they like the only ones doing that? It seems like everywhere I look, it's just Flarespace.
They have a corner on the market.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know that because I've talked to other people trying to do it.
Yeah.
So basically, this is our promo van.
Okay.
And these are actually our side steps that we just came out with.
Okay.
And we are selling them here at the show. So this build was designed for an open layout and to kind of maximize your living space. So we kind of did this minimal kitchen galley with the induction stovetop and the small bar sink to give you more space to live in. And the way we did that is to condense it. We gave you a hideaway shower pan and a shower mixer and a shower head on the ceiling. And there's actually magnets inside the ceiling that the shower curtain locks into.
Dude.
So it's basically a super strong adhesive.
Yeah.
This is actually aluminum behind all this. So you have
it's an aluminum pan
with just tiles stuck to it, just make it look fancy.
Is it welded or you have it like?
It's a welded pan for sure. Yeah. It's
Hey,
welded
that's
together.
awesome.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking of the same thing because in Japan, you've ever been to Japan?
No, I wish.
In Japan, they have onsens. It's like a spa, and at the onsen, you literally go in. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
gonna track
water
some water around. But you take your shower from a sitting position.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit narrow as I was thinking, but you could sit and then sit down because I was thinking, what do you really need to stand up? You know? I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
No, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Or it's like a small bath for a child. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Whoa, what a great idea.
Yep.
And then so that's on off, and then that's your rain comes down. Mother. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what? I went through the shower thing, and then I'm like, no. And then I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And now I'm back to yes again.
Yeah.
You bastard.
You just gotta hide it right. You know?
You
don't
gotta
even
hide
know
it
it's
right.
there. You know?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So literally every person that walks in here has no idea there's a shower until I point it out to them. And the wow faces are just awesome when they show up.
Oh my God.
But this one has a hideaway toilet as well, but it also has the vacuum seal toilet by Lavio with the 17 flushes.
Okay.
Yeah. You have a ton of storage above and below the fridge and the microwave, and we kind of condensed this cabinet all in one for all this stuff and all the storage. So, but super efficient. The system that this is running on, you could literally run this microwave and the induction and still have power left over to run, you know, at the same time. You know?
So it's a 3,000 watt inverter? Or?
3,000 watt inverter, yeah.
All VICTRON stuff?
Yep, 100% VICTRON, because we love VICTRON.
Yeah.
So in the back, you got a ton of reading lights and a really comfy area to sleep in.
Yep. The Flarespace Flares allow you to go out a little bit more.
Exactly. So if you're 6 foot, you can still sleep back here, no problem whatsoever. A ton of storage for clothing and stuff in the back. And then there's chargers and your heating controllers and your remote for your Max Air fan. And we swear by Max Air because it's actually the best fan on the market, and it's also the quietest, which is the best.
Yeah.
This unit actually has a cruising comfort AC unit, so it's basically a mini split unit with one unit in the back and then one unit that's actually underneath the vehicle.
With that cruising comfort, do you ever worry about like debris or anything getting at it from the underside? Like that was my biggest worry, you know?
So we actually fabricate a metal bracket for it underneath the van with a grate so nothing actually gets into the actual
like a skid protector almost.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Because if you didn't, rocks and stuff would get in there and damage the condenser and things like that. So
how old are you?
I'm turning 35 next month.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think overlanding, like you know, originally you were thinking of it as like an old man's game and go out in the country, but like it's gotten a lot younger.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know, over the years. This is your demo rig?
This is our demo rig, but this is also a layout that you can choose from.
Okay. And
there's a ton of options you can choose from. Like in the floor, you can get inset L-track to do an additional seat for a third person. And then we're offering the Murphy bed option or the the bed lift option from Lipper, the Euro lift bed.
So I see there's a seam here.
Yes.
It folds
So-
up from there.
So we actually did not get a chance to cut and wrap this with fabric before the
so
show.
it's one piece.
But yeah. But it would be cut into multiple pieces. There'd be a piece that stays down here. There'd be a piece that stores back here.
Okay.
And then links into the L track in the ceiling. And this also has a ton of speakers. We partner with Vocal, which is a super high-end speaker brand. And they bump for sure. Like if you came by it last night, it'd be pretty loud over here.
Nice.
But we also have speaker on the exterior of this cabinet as well, and there's also a foldable table as well on the outside.
And then I see you here. You got a nice. Did you custom fabricate this?
Yep.
A
This
nice
is
shelf.
our custom overhead shelf. And this is the biggest storage in the van, so you can fit like your camping chairs and whatever else you need. We're actually getting in a 4x4 Transit next month. It's actually for someone in a wheelchair that we're designing specific for him, which is super cool because he has the lift that goes right here. So we're actually building everything on one side so he can access and shower and basically get into his bed without any help.
Yeah, these guys are in New York.
Yep.
And so if you want to look them up, I'll leave all their information below. If I am on my world tour, I'm riding around. If I'm in the neighborhood, can you show me around?
Oh yeah, man, you can take one of the vans and we can go around for sure.
That would be badass. That would be badass.
We actually have a huge field right behind our shop that we're actually gonna try and do our own show like this next year. So
No shit.
yeah.
Well,
we're trying to organize it.
Before I leave this continent, maybe we'll check it out. That'd be awesome. All right, guys, like, subscribe, share, comment. You know all that stuff. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. So before we go, what is this? A little addendum.
Yep, so this is actually our ladder tire carrier. So we just kind of finished this. This was our prototype. And we kind of were sick of climbing around.
Yeah, because normally you'd have a couple of forks here that you climb on up and around.
And what's the point of having a ladder if you're climbing on a tire anyway? So we did the first swing away ladder tire carrier where it swings out of the way so you can climb up the ladder.
And you know what else it does? It at least in a small way, it restricts thieves from just being able to jump up on your roof and maybe rip you off or whatever.
We're actually going to integrate another latch so you can put a padlock on it so that you can't get up onto the roof without having a key. So
very cool.
Yep.
Awesome.